The state of Hawaii has officially become the first state to declare that it will waste taxpayers' money, challenging Donald Trump's block on travel from 6 Arab nations that seem to have a serious problem with exporting terrorism. Let's take a look at this article that we find at WashingtonPost.com. We'll change screens here, and this is attributed to Matt Zbatoski. I think I pronounced his name correctly. My apologies to Matt if I messed it up. However, I will not try again. Okay, this is the Washington Post. The part of the headline is obviously obscured, but it says Hawaii plans to sue to block new Trump travel ban. There's really not a whole lot to the story, but we got some other things to share with you after we go through this. But it basically says the state of Hawaii will ask a federal judge to block President Trump's revised executive order barring the issuance of new visas to citizens of 6 Muslim-majority countries, according to a court filing. The action, which lawyers for the state hope to file Wednesday in Hawaii, would mark the first formal legal challenge to the order, which the president signed Monday. Hawaii also sued over Trump's first travel ban, and lawyers for the state told a judge in a court filing that they want to resume that litigation to ask for a temporary restraining order on the new directive. So my conclusion is that apparently the powers that be in Hawaii are under the presumption that taxpayers there have this endless trove of cash that they can just dump into the state's coffers so they can waste their money filing pointless lawsuits against Donald Trump. Basically, what they're doing is they're making a political statement at taxpayers' expense. All right, so what is the problem here with Muslims coming into the country? The answer should be obvious. If you have watched any of my videos in the past, you're probably familiar with this page. This is the religionofpeace.com, and what we see here is a list of terror last 30 days, Islamic terror. So let's take a look at what the terrorists have been up to. And this is why we do not want them in our country. Now, before we get into this, let's go back and talk about a couple things that are essential to understanding perspective. And that is that in the United States, we have this zeitgeist mindset that the most evil hate group in existence is the Ku Klux Klan, which, for all practical purposes, does not exist. There are a few of them out there, but not very many. Another fact of the matter is, that the world's largest, oldest, and deadliest hate group in existence is Islam. Now, if you understand Islamophobia, which I think is a bogus term, but we're utilizing it for the sake of argument, if you understand that Islamophobia as to being hatred against Muslims, then the world's largest Islamic phobic group would be Islam, because they kill more Muslims than anybody else. In fact, I don't know that anybody goes around killing Muslims other than Muslims. Okay, let's scroll down here so you can see the text on the screen. Let's take a look at the last couple of days. This is March the 7th, 2017, in India. ISIS members, Muslims, set off a bomb at a train station. 10 people are injured, 0 killed. Oh, that's unusual. Well, what else has happened since the beginning of this month in Niger? Jihadists murder 4 police officers. So we have 4 people killed in Niger. In Pakistan, Sharia activists assassinate a secular lawyer. Then 2 people are killed when Ansar Islam members fire into a school for not teaching the Quran. Imagine fundamentalist Christians firing into a school because they didn't open class with the Lord's Prayer, or they weren't teaching the Bible, or they weren't teaching the Bible the way they want it taught. Or imagine Mormons firing into a school because they didn't teach the Book of Mormon. I mean, who else would do this? Would the Church of Scientology fire into a school because they weren't teaching from the book? I can't remember what their holy book is. Dianetics or whatever. Seems to be that only Muslims are that crazy. Okay, this is, where are we now? Thailand. This attack occurred March the 2nd, 2017. 2 women and an 18-year-old are among the 4 Buddhists killed when Muslim insurgents fire into a family vehicle. And on the 1st of March 2017, in Afghanistan, 2 suicide bombers leave 22 Afghans in pieces. So, what is the death toll since the beginning of March 2017? Okay, the first week in March 17. We have 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 22 is 33. So, the Islamic terrorists have killed 33 people first week in March 2017. Okay, let's compare that to other hate groups. Hate groups or not hate groups. Any other group you want to pick. Pick one out of the air. Let's say, for example, neo-Nazis. How many terrorist attacks have been committed by neo-Nazis in the first week in March 2017? Or what about the Ku Klux Klan? Or what about any other religious group you can think of? How many people were killed by, say, Catholics or Baptists or Mormons or Methodists or Hare Krishnas or Scientologists or Raelians? What other religious group is running around killing people? I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of any, but since the beginning of March, we do know that 33 people were killed by Islamic terrorists. We also know this since, see if I can pull this up on the screen. Maybe not. Okay, you can't see the whole number. But the number is... Okay, we'll make it so you can see it. Okay, the number is 30,434. That is the number of deadly documented terrorist attacks since 9/11/2001. Okay, now let's go back to those other religious groups we were talking about. How many terrorist attacks have been committed by any other religious group that you can possibly think of since 9/11? Can you think of any other religious group anywhere ever that has committed any terrorist attack since 9/11? I'm sure there were some. I just can't happen to think of any. Maybe there were none. I'm sure there's somebody out there has to be blowing up somebody, but it seems that this is an exclusive franchise of the Islamic ideology. So when we say, let's keep these people out of our country, typically what the liberals will say is, first let me get my McDonald's cup out of the screen. That's embarrassing. The first thing they say is, you can't... Hang on a second. Had to mute my button while I coughed. Typically what liberals will say immediately is, well, you can't blame all Muslims for the acts of a few. I follow that logic. The only problem is they only seem to apply that logic to Muslims. For example, we could say, well, you can't condemn all Nazis because of the actions of a few. Not all Nazis were brutal murderers. You can't, would anybody say, you can't blame all Klansmen because there were 1 or 2 rogue Klansmen that did something stupid? But that's the same logic they use for Islam. So they're hypocritical. It's two-faced. It's a double standard. But anyhow, the folks in Hawaii, taxpayers in Hawaii, get the opportunity to have their tax dollars wasted by their government fighting Donald Trump because he is trying to block terrorism from coming into our country and killing us. Maybe it's time the folks in Hawaii start thinking about next election. Consider some other candidates that aren't going to waste your money fighting somebody who is fighting for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it on social media. Also, below somewhere is a comment section. We'd like to hear what you have to say. So leave your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll see a button conveniently located in the lower right-hand corner of this video. Just click on it, and almost instantly you can become a subscriber.
How to subscribe? Click subscribe. Click the bell. Check the box. Save.